What's up, everybody? It's Henry here, and welcome back to the channel where we break down the biggest market movers so you can make smarter trades. Today is Thursday, September 5th, and we're kicking off the day with 5 key things you absolutely need to know before the opening bell rings in New York. We're talking futures, economic data, potential mergers, and of course, the always interesting world of oil prices. So grab your coffee, get that trading platform fired up, and let's dive right in. Stay sharp, stay informed, and crush it. Morning buzz. Markets, madness, and the magic of the numbers. It's the morning buzz. Let's get that dough, make those trades, and keep it low. We've got the scoop, the numbers too, so stick around, there's news for you. The VIX, not just a number, it's a mood. Let's kick things off with the VIX, or as I like to call it, the spooky meter of the market. It's currently sitting at 20.71. What does that mean? Well, if the VIX were a person, it'd be that one friend who's always on edge, jumping at shadows. But today, our jittery friend is actually calming down a bit, down by minus 0.58, which is a minus 2.72% change. So, in human terms, it's like VIX just found out that the creepy noise in the house was just the cat. Phew! Crisis averted. But don't get too cozy. A VIX at 20.71 means there's still some tension in the air, like waiting for your crush to text back. Stay sharp, friends, because while things are chill now, the market mood can change faster than a politician's promises. The Fear and Greed Index. Are we angels or devils today? Next up, we've got the Fear and Greed Index sitting pretty at 54%. What does that mean? Well, it's like when you're at the buffet, and you're halfway between piling your plate with salad or just going straight for the chocolate fountain. In market terms, 54% means we're balanced, half angel, half devil, like we're feeling cautiously optimistic but not ready to throw caution to the wind. We're not exactly singing Kumbaya, but we're not hiding under our desks either. Today's mood? Let's call it carefully adventurous. Market Analyzer. Data. Numbers everywhere. Alright, numbers nerds, gather around because we're talking shop. The Market Analyzer is giving us the scoop on some big players today. First, we've got the E-mini S&P 500 at a whopping 115,000. Then there's the DOW at a solid 13,000. And the Nasdaq, our techie friend, is hanging in there at 63,000. What do these numbers mean? Well, if the market was a superhero, the E-mini S&P 500 would be our bulky powerhouse hero. You know, the one who can lift buses and save kittens from trees. The DOW is more like the steady sidekick, reliable and always there to back up the hero. And the Nasdaq, that's our tech-savvy genius, always coming up with cool gadgets to save the day. So what's the plan? These numbers are telling us that the market's got some muscle today. If you're trading, think like a superhero. Be bold, but don't forget your utility belt. It's all about strategy, baby. What's on the calendar? The day's big market moments. Alright, let's talk about what's cooking today in the market kitchen. We've got a full menu of economic events that could shake things up more than a double shot of espresso. First up, at 8:15 a.m., we've got the ADP Nonfarm Employment Change. This is like the morning weather report for the job market, sunny with a chance of paychecks or cloudy with layoffs. We'll find out soon enough. Then at 8:30 a.m., it's time for unemployment claims. This one's like a reality check for the job market. How many people are knocking on the door saying, "Hey, I need a job"? We'll know soon enough. But wait, there's more. At 9:45 a.m., we're getting the final services PMI. Think of this as the market's checkup at the doctor. How's it doing? Is it healthy or does it need more vitamins? We'll get the verdict then. And don't you dare go anywhere because at 10 a.m., the ISM services PMI drops. This is like the big boss battle in a video game. Will the market score a high or low? The fate of your trades could depend on it. Finally, at 11 a.m., it's time for crude oil inventories. Are we swimming in oil or scraping the barrel? The answer could mean higher gas prices, or cheaper ones. Keep your eyes peeled. So, there you have it, folks. The market's got its game face on today with a lot of data drops that could make or break your strategy. We've got a VIX that's less jumpy, a Fear and Greed Index that's just chillin' in the middle, and some big numbers from our market heavyweights. Here's my advice. Keep your eyes open, your wits about you, and maybe even your lucky socks on. Today could be one of those days where the market surprises us all. So be ready to adapt, adjust, and as always, keep it fun. Futures stay steady. As of right now, they're looking pretty calm, just kind of chilling out there. But don't let that fool you, because everyone's on edge waiting for some key labor market data later today. You know the Fed's been watching that like a hawk, and any surprises could shake things up. We're seeing the Dow futures up just a hair, about 22 points, which is basically a rounding error in the grand scheme of things. The S&P 500 futures are following suit, up a measly 5 points. And the Nasdaq? Well, they're basically playing dead over there, barely budging at all. Now, yesterday was a bit of a roller coaster, wasn't it? The S&P and Nasdaq took a dip, while the Dow decided to be different and actually ended the day higher. Go figure, right? But here's the thing. All eyes are on the job market, specifically that ADP report dropping later today. It's supposed to give us a sneak peek into private sector hiring for August. Remember back in July when that ADP report came in way weaker than expected? Yeah, the market did not like that one bit. It was like finding out your favorite coffee shop is out of cold brew on a Monday morning, not a good look. On top of that, we've got those weekly jobless claims numbers coming out too. Last week they came in right on target, but again, one data point doesn't make a trend. But the real MVP of economic data this week? That would be the Nonfarm Payrolls report coming out on Friday. This is the big kahuna, the one everyone's holding their breath for. Analysts are predicting we'll see about 164,000 jobs added in August. Now that would be a decent jump from the measly 114,000 we saw in July, which, let's be honest, was a bit of a gut punch. And speaking of gut punches, remember what happened to Nvidia this week? Those shares took a tumble earlier in the week and then yesterday, bam! Down another 1.7% after they had to come out and deny those rumors about a potential antitrust investigation by the DOJ. Listen, I'm not saying there's fire where there's smoke, but there's definitely a lot of smoke around Nvidia right now. Now I know what you're thinking. This is a lot to process before I've even finished my first cup of coffee, and you're right, it is. But that's why we're here, right? We're in this together, navigating these market waves one day at a time. So buckle up because things could get interesting. Jobs, 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 the name of the game. All right, traders, let's dive a little deeper into this whole employment data situation. Because honestly, that's what everyone's going to be talking about today. It's like trying to figure out who's going to win the Super Bowl. But instead of touchdowns and field goals, we're talking about job creation and unemployment claims. As I mentioned earlier, we've got two big reports coming out today. The ADP National Employment Report, which focuses on the private sector, and the weekly initial jobless claims. Now the ADP report is like the pre-game show. It gives us some clues about what to expect, but it's not always a perfect predictor. Last month, the ADP report showed a much smaller increase in private sector hiring than everyone was expecting. It was like ordering a large pizza and only getting a personal pan. Disappointing, to say the least. Then we've got the weekly jobless claims. Now this is like checking the injury report before the big game. We want to see those numbers stay low, indicating that fewer people are filing for unemployment benefits. Last week, we saw 231,000 claims, which was right in line with expectations. But let's be real, the main event, the Super Bowl of economic data this week, is the Nonfarm Payrolls report coming out on Friday. This report, put together by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is like the final score, the ultimate indicator of how the job market is performing. Analysts are predicting we'll see 164,000 jobs added in August. That would be a step up from July's dismal 114,000, which, let's be honest, had everyone freaking out about a potential recession. And for good reason, right? The job market is like the engine of the US economy. When it's running smoothly, everything else tends to fall into place. But when it starts to sputter, well, that's when things can get a little dicey. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for those employment numbers today and tomorrow. They're going to be market movers, no doubt about it. Biden versus Big Steel, this could get messy. Okay, let's shift gears here and talk about something that sounds like it's straight out of a political thriller. President Biden might actually block Nippon Steel's massive $14.9 billion bid to buy U.S. steel. I know, right? It sounds crazy, but apparently the Biden administration is seriously considering it, citing national security concerns. And get this, the decision could come as early as this week. Now, this whole thing has been brewing for a while. You see, there's this government group that oversees foreign investments, and they've reportedly told Nippon Steel that those national security issues, yeah, they're a big deal and they can't just be swept under the rug. But it's not just Biden who's not thrilled about this potential mega merger. Vice President Kamala Harris, who, as you know, is running for president, has also voiced her opposition. And on the other side of the aisle, Donald Trump, her Republican rival, has also criticized the deal. So you've got Biden, Harris, and Trump all on the same page about something. That's got to be some kind of record, right? But here's the thing, U.S. Steel is not happy about this potential roadblock. They're arguing that if the deal falls through, it could put thousands of union jobs at risk and lead to some of their steel mills shutting down. And investors? Well, they're not too keen on uncertainty, which is why U.S. Steel shares tumbled more than 17% on Wednesday after news of the potential Biden block broke. So yeah, this whole situation is a mess, and it's got everyone on edge. It's a high-stakes game of economic chess, and it's anyone's guess how it's going to play out. Verizon's fiber frenzy. Is Frontier next? All right, let's talk about something a little less politically charged, shall we? Word on the street is that Verizon, yes, the telecom giant, is in serious talks to buy Frontier Communications. Now you might be thinking, Frontier, who? And that's fair, they're not exactly the biggest name in the game. But here's the thing, they provide broadband services in 25 states and they've got a decent amount of fiber optic cable, which, as we all know, is the future of internet speed. According to the Wall Street Journal, this potential acquisition could be announced as early as this week. And while the exact price tag hasn't been revealed, Frontier Communications was valued at around $7 billion as of Tuesday. Now, this move makes sense for Verizon. They've been on a mission to expand their fiber network, and scooping up Frontier would be a pretty quick and easy way to do just that. But of course, the market loves to react to these kinds of rumors, and it didn't disappoint. After the news broke, Frontier's stock shot up by almost 38%. Meanwhile, Verizon stock dipped a bit, down over 3%. Hey, that's the market for you, always full of surprises. But one thing's for sure, this potential deal is definitely one to keep an eye on. It could have major implications for the telecom industry and the future of internet access in the US. Oil prices rebound. Is this the turnaround? Alright, last but not least, let's talk about everyone's favorite commodity, oil. After hitting multi-month lows earlier this week, oil prices decided to stage a bit of a comeback today. As of right now, Brent crude futures are up around 0.6%, trading at $73.15 per barrel. Now, that's still a far cry from where they were a few months ago, but hey, a win's a win, right? US crude futures are also looking a bit perkier, up 0.6% to $69.61 per barrel. So what's behind this sudden surge? Well, there are a couple of factors at play here. First, there's talk that OPEC+, the big dogs of the oil world, might actually delay that production increase they were planning for October. Now, why would they do that? Well, it's simple supply and demand, my friends. If they pump out less oil, the price goes up. Economics 101, right? Second, we got some good news on the inventory front. Data from the American Petroleum Institute showed that U.S. crude inventories dropped by a whopping 7.431 million barrels last week. That's way more than analysts were expecting, and it suggests that demand for oil might actually be picking up. Now, it's important to remember that oil prices are notoriously volatile. They're like that friend who's always up and down, never quite sure what mood they're going to be in. So while this rebound is encouraging, it's too early to say for sure if it's the start of a sustained upward trend. But hey, at least it's not another day of losses, right? Those are the 5 key things you need to know to navigate the market today. We've got futures hanging in the balance, job reports looming large, potential mega mergers, and of course, the always unpredictable world of oil prices. Remember, knowledge is power, and the more informed you are, the better decisions you can make. So stay curious, keep learning, and never stop asking questions. Subscribe to the channel for more market insights, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. And as always, drop a comment below and let me know what you're watching in the market today. What's got you excited? What's got you worried? Let's chat. Until next time, happy trading.